Hello ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, and none of the above, welcome back to We Love Your Deck. Welcome to today's Factions Friday, where we talk about a faction in the Magic universe and the mechanics that give them flavor, and today's faction is the Mirrian resistance of New Phyrexia. As the glistening oil of the Phyrexians spread across the entirety of the plane of Mirrian into New Phyrexia, those that had not been completed themselves have taken up arms to defend themselves against the encroaching Phyrexians. However, the fight has been a losing battle, with many encampments taking heavy tolls during the war. Surprisingly, one of the new Phyrexian praetors, Urabrask, allowed some resistance members into his domain, not due to him pitying them but rather out of his own ideals. By the end of the war with the Phyrexians, all that remained of the Mirrian resistance was less than 20 total members. Notable members of the Mirrian resistance include Koth of the Hammer, a human geomancer and former planeswalker, and the closest thing the resistance had to a leader, who was able to use his heated core to purify and cleanse metals. As well as Melira, a human outcast who was known as the Fleshling due to not being born with metal adorning her body, who was also born immune to being completed. Throughout the existence of the resistance, much of their mechanics have had an aggressive nature to them, focusing primarily around the combat step and artifacts. Starting with Metalcraft, a way that gives an additional bonus in any way as long as you control 3 or more artifacts, which, with Mirrian and New Phyrexia being planes of artifice, are quite easy to come by. As well as Battle Cry, which, when the creature with Battle Cry attacks, will give all other creatures that attack with it +1/+0, which, as a resistance fighting together with one another, having someone to lead the charge is great. And finally, for Mirrian, an equipment-centered mechanic that was made to mirror the Phyrexian living weapon, and for a resistance to take up arms against their oppressors, being able to fight back better, is ideal. And that covers the basics of the Mirrian resistance. If you like what you heard and want to keep learning more, why not give me a follow? And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side, Planeswalkers. And remember, be good to each other.